All right, thank you everyone for being here tonight. As always, it's always fun messing with sound. We're not experts, so we have nice equipment. We have our communications chair, Helen, in the back. Thanking CAPS for letting us use their equipment to be able to record high quality video and sound. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Marco Cuevas. I am the current chair of the Westside Community Council. See a lot of new faces, familiar faces. Glad to help lead this organization with a great group. Along with Helen, we have our secretary, Pete Freeman. Yvonne is handing out agendas over there. Maria in the back. We have interpretation in the back if anyone needs it. Kay, our treasurer. I don't think I'm missing anyone else. Obviously, we have city staff here tonight. Yeah, it's going to be a good meeting, jam-packed meeting. If anyone wants to be a member, we have membership forms in the back also. And yeah, let's jump right into our standing reports with Patrol Watch. Officer Davey, thank you for being here.
Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm Corporal Nick Davey. Obviously, I'm working with the police department. I've been here for 11 years as an officer for the city of Ventura. Currently, my job is one of our acting corporals, so I'm usually a citywide car assisting patrol. So these stats will be for the month August 28th to September 24th. There are handouts in the back if you wanted to grab them that have some of these stats here. So these will be the crimes that have occurred on the west end of Ventura. Keep in mind, a lot of these crimes, we also have to incorporate the Vaughn Shopping Center. We incorporate the downtown district, which has a lot of activity, particularly in the nighttime hours as the bars are letting out or closing. So we'll just go through the stats real quick. We had one reported arson. That call was actually a butane lighter that was left inside of an RV. However, it was marked as an arson, so it was very much an isolated event. Assault offenses, we had 19. Again, these could range from incidents that happen as bars close to subjects that may resist officers as we're trying to contact them or arrest them. We had 3 reported burglaries or break-ins. We had 7 vandalism reports, 25 drug or narcotic-related offense calls, 4 fraud offenses, 21 larceny or petty theft reports. Again, that could be something that has to do with our shopping center here and shoplifting. 3 vehicle thefts or stolen vehicle reports, 1 robbery, and 1 other stolen property offense. Again, from August 28th to September 24th, when it comes to particularly just our narcotic-related calls for service, and again, we have one of these handouts in the back. We had a total of 26 calls. There was 6 reported overdoses. That's either through calls for service or something that gets relayed to us through city fire, and 20 related narcotic calls. Those could range from us making an arrest of somebody using narcotics or somebody creating a call for service due to somebody suspected of using narcotics. Again, a lot of these, if you get a look at the crime map, occur near that intersection of Ventura Avenue and Main Street. Do you guys have any questions related to anything that's occurring in the beat or common trends that you see that I can relate to our command staff or patrol officers? Yes, sir.
Because I got to, Helen, can you go back a slide, please? There seem to be a lot of assaults, like right mid avenue, kind of. Is that normal or that kind of special for this month?
It kind of goes in waves. A lot of times we'll have a lot of juvenile incidents where they'll come together. Kellogg Park is kind of a common ground where that happens sometimes. We do have a lot of activity also on Ramona Avenue when it comes to some of our more gang-related activity. Sometimes it's our juvenile problems. So a lot of it occurs from those type of things. It is pretty uncommon to have it around that area. Like I said, a lot of the fight calls that get documented are usually in the downtown district due to bars letting out and alcohol.
So it's not random
No,
per se.
per se.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, someone that I was talking today mentioned that city of Ventura has more crime than any other city in the county. And I was wondering, is that per capita? And I realize that part of that has to do with being the county seat. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I don't personally know that statistic or what the numbers are for that. I do know that Ventura kind of becomes the hub of a lot of the services that come here. Keep in mind, we do have the county jail here. We have the county hospital. We have the county mental health and social services here. So we do have a lot of people throughout the county that do get brought to our county. As far as being the most active as far as crime, I don't know that stats particularly. I know we do have more of a populated area. Just like Oxnard, I know they have a lot of people for their city. And I know that they have a high amount of services calls as well. But yes, we do have quite a active city regarding calls. And again, not all of them are egregious or something that's violent or anything like that. A lot of them too also stem from community caretaking calls. Yes, there's a large amount of vagrancy sometimes, but within that, we still have to treat them as part of our community and offer them services. So yes, we do have a lot of people here, and shouldn't say unfortunately, but we do have a lot of people there, and as we provide them services, yes, our city can become busy at times. Again, I would have to look for those statistics. So if I could meet with you after and let me know where you got it from, I'll be happy to look into that. Yes, ma'am.
By Red Barn Liquor. We have public intoxication, 24 hours, 7 days out of the week. I've seen where I'm going down the street with my grandkids and people are peeing on the streets, throwing up, drinking on the streets. We've already told the owner of Red Barn Liquor, stop selling liquor. We've told the neighbors, other property owners to please call it in. And that's funny, nobody shows up. So I was wondering how we can go to, if they can patrol it, like morning, afternoon, night, because it's women walking down the street and seeing men do their necessities at the property. And there's times where we come home late and we're walking and they're out there drinking. So it's kind of scary and I don't feel like it's patrolled enough to start citing these people. So what is it that we can do as a community that live on that street to get more officers to be patrolling that street? Besides call it in.
Yeah, great question. We can create focus calls in that particular area. Again, these focus calls will be created if there's a particular day or time. We can a little bit every day. Open to closing. Yeah. So. Yeah. So we can create focus calls there to hopefully alleviate some of that. Within that, again, we have beat coordinators, so I can reach out to our beat one coordinator to let them know, to take more of a strict stance onto enforcement in that area. Again, it's not a nuisance for us when you call with community concerns and problems. You have some people who go, I don't want to be a bother, and they may not see it as something super egregious, but again, we have children walking, women walking, call it in. I don't know particularly how often those calls do come in. And I know it's frustrating. Sometimes you'll see them out there and you see a patrol officer driving right by. Again, it's a very busy city, especially in this downtown area. So I don't know if those particular officers are going to another call for service or as they're passing, if they don't see the alcohol containers or something like that. But again, continue to call it in. I'll reach out to the beat one coordinator and let them know as well. You're welcome. And then October 30th, coffee with a cup, or coffee with a cop, excuse me. Love Well Tea and Coffee. It's over there by Shoshone and Ventura Avenue. Love to see you guys there. Great. Thank you for your time. Again, there's these stat sheets are in the back over there by the water if you want one for yourself, okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Officer Davies. It just occurred to me right after I was making introductions that I forgot our Revite chair, Ron, definitely the best for last. He's going to be doing a report in a little bit here, but my apologies on that. All the list of our names of officers are on the agenda. If you're interested in joining, I'm just going to make this plug. We have our election next month. If you're interested in serving on the board of the Westside Community Council, we're taking applications. We're going to form a committee if you want to be a part of that committee to form a slate for recommended officers for next year. Please reach out. We'll be doing that very soon for our meeting next month. And next up, we have City of Ventura updates, both Councilmember Campos and our City of Ventura liaison, Alejandra. Who's going first? Liz, all right.
Thank you, Marco. Good evening, everyone. To the person who asked the question about Red Barn Liquor, Coffee with a Cop is a great event to go and really be able to talk to all levels of leadership in the department. So that might be an opportunity if you're not working that day to ask that question again. Last night we had an emergency city council meeting to address the gasoline leaking into the sewer in Pierpont. And basically it was for us to declare a state of emergency, which we did. The city departments and state will move forward from there to take care of that. There's two big events coming this weekend on the west side. On Sunday, there's a fresh air fair sponsored by Gold Coast Transit, Bike Ventura, and Sea Frog at Kellogg Park from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will be raffles. I think just for showing up, you get a raffle ticket. They're raffling off bicycles, not e-bikes, regular bicycles, and skateboards to anyone who has a raffle ticket and their number's pulled. The Gold Coast Transit will also be giving out bus passes to people. So, and they will have interpreters there. So the event will be bilingual. On Saturday, can you pull up the slide? Okay. On Saturday, there's an update event about the SoCal gas compressor and relationship with the West Side. It really is an update and response event to questions people have in the neighborhood. That's Alejandra's slide. There are some flyers in the back. It will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at E.P. Foster Elementary School. And everybody who wants to attend is welcome to attend. We originally thought we were going to have some of the legal support for this action there. I later heard that they're not ready. The process is taking longer than they expected, but we are having the event to just celebrate the West Side. So everybody's welcome to come. There'll be some light meal there. Ron, do you have anything else to add?
The compressor was put in here a long time ago because this is a disadvantaged community. And so the powers that be at the time thought, oh, these people are disposable. I don't think anybody considers themselves disposable here. Okay. So there's a compressor there now and it leaks and they occasionally have to vent off gas and so on that has a irritant in it and so on. And so it's a big issue for our community. And so we need to stand strong and raise our voice as a community that this is not acceptable here. It's not acceptable now. It wasn't acceptable when it was put in. And so we need to look at the different options where they can put the compressor in someplace else. As I understand, a lot of the gas is going up to Montecito, so in Oprah Winfrey's backyard may be a good location for it. There's going to be coffee, donuts, stuff like that, and then there'll be breakout sessions so we can discuss amongst ourselves how we want to proceed forward, how we want to put pressure on our elected officials and the bureaucrats that are supposed to represent us so that we get the job done, so we have a healthy community to raise our kids, to run our businesses, and enjoy life.
So the most important thing Ron mentioned, I think, is the health of the children in the community. And we know from studies that's been affected by the closeness of the gas compressor and the school. That research will continue on and the process is continuing, and that's what this event is really about. So there's a question and then I'll turn it over to you in a few minutes. Yes?
I have a three-folded question, but it are issues. Isn't it true that right now we haven't about in a month Maloney, Nas, and Ryan as candidates that can make possible policies that are realistic, down to earth? And it is the time to make decisions, right? So the question is, why is it that most politicians are just about to replicate the same old situation? That's one. The other is the issue of the compressor. The compressor and the way the city was answering before was that in the west side, you feel the health deterioration, cancers, etc. But the fact still remains that the fire department for decades has not paid attention to the west side and the cancer rates, and there's no medical study, etc. So the fact is, why is it that the city is not bringing more active policies to have medical studies of the victims of the compressor, the situation of ongoingly that is about to happen when the compressor comes and says, oh, you know, we'll give you this gift or we'll give you that gift, and then you just have to approve we're going to double the size and we're just going to have you breathing the gas, eating the gas, and drinking the gas. You're disposable anyway. So the policy-wise, what is the city gonna do beyond the legal stuff?
Okay, your first question was about the current election. And as far as I know, no one's up for re-election in the West Side Community Council District right now. So I won't respond to that myself. There are candidate activities you can go to. Regarding the compressor station, right now, the situation is it's in the hands of the California Public Utilities Commission. And that's why our event is more an update. Let people know what's going on, let them know how to get help if their children are showing symptoms, those kind of things. The city can take no further action, and none of the organizations can until that decision is made by the Public Utilities Commission. Okay? And I would like to pass it on so that we can get the other half of the city report, if that's okay. And any other questions, you can talk to Ron or I after the meeting.
Hello, everybody. Because there's some new faces, I like to introduce myself. My name's Alejandra, and I'm with the city's communications office. I've been coming here for about a year and a half to give everybody from the community some updates about programs and events. So this is why I'm here today, and we have a slide. We maybe don't. We have a slide. And I'm really happy with the turnout. I'm really stoked that you guys are here. We're going to be hearing from some really neat folks from our city. And it's, I think it's a different slide, Marco. I have a joke. So two olives walk into a bar and one of them falls off the bar stool. What do they say? What does the olive that falls say? Olive. I am really good at dad jokes, you guys. I'm great at dad jokes. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So we have Maruha from ComDev team, and she'll be talking about the general plan and the latest survey, but I'd like to let you guys know that we have a new and improved version of the land use designations and the land use designation map. There's a survey available online, and it's been available from September 6th, and it'll close on October 21st. We have a really exciting tenant and property owner workshops, and this is to solicit feedback from our community on different tenant and property owner protections. And this is part of the implementation of the 2021 and 2029 housing element. And the staff is just exploring the potential for programs that support tenants and property owners equally. So I have more information about this. The first workshops will start October 19th. There'll be in-person and virtual meetings, and we will also host meetings that are solely in Spanish. So we have them also in person and virtually. If folks like to attend those, we have more information on our website. We have construction is currently underway at the West Side Skate Park, and completion is estimated to be complete spring 2025. If you like more information, we have the website listed here. We also have the e-bike community workshops. VPD will host a free community workshop on October 24th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. In the community meeting room at City Hall. And this event is part of our ongoing efforts to address the growing concerns about electric bicycle use in Ventura. So if you guys like to know more information, we have the website listed here. Surfers Point. Construction is starting up at Surfers Point in the coming weeks. There will be detours and temporary parking available until summer 2025. And you can catch more information and noticing about this on our website. And you can also stay up to date. If you scroll down all the way from on our website under news flashes, you can see all of our current news. And lastly here, I also like to reiterate, we have Coffee with a Cop, October 30th from 8 a.m. to 9:30 at Lofwell. And yeah, I'm here to answer any questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'm happy to point you to the correct person. My business cards are in the back. And with that, turn it over. Oh, yes, Pete.
Just looking at your last item there, the city council meetings, I believe there's one on the 8th also.
On the 8th,
Miss-
it might have, yeah, it might have cut off.
Mr. Ayub
You are correct.
shaking his head.
Yes, that was my bad. Thank you.
Worse you do, you're doing okay.
Right, that's it for me. Anybody have any questions?
Let's give a hand to Alejandra. Always great to have city updates from our Councilmember Campos and our city staff liaison. Lots of conflicting events I've noticed in the last several weeks, multiple events on the same weekend. I know this weekend also is Love Ventura's big neighborhood or citywide day of service. There's like 20 different projects. I'm sure, I think their website is, I didn't have a slide for them. I'm just doing this off cuff. Love VC, I think, or something. If someone knows that, do you know it? loveventura.org. Okay, yeah, go ahead and check out loveventura.org for more information. And yeah, volunteer this weekend would be a great idea. Treasurer's report, Treasurer Zerbes, where we at? You're up, moving right along. While she's coming up, not to minimize it, but also knowing we have a lot on the agenda tonight, I want to thank everyone for coming to our event at Wall Street a couple weeks ago. Also a part of Art Walk. There was also another event over at the Adult Senior Center. Lots of different things happening during Art Walk weekend. So yeah, it was a fun weekend and great event. And hopefully next year we'll be able to do another Fiesta event. So if you're interested in joining that, planning, let me know. Come on, Kate. Take all the jokes we can get.
Have you ever seen a motorcycle rider? Always smiling. You know why they're always happy? You can always tell by they're always smiling. They have bugs in their teeth. Okay, here's our report up here on the wall. We have $252.90. That was our insurance that we just got through paying. So we now have $334.83. So hopefully we'll have everything resolved for next month and have 100 times more than that. Right? Like that one. Amen is right. That means so be it. God bless, and thanks for coming out.
Thank you, Kay. Next up, we have our Revite committee update from Ron.
Last meeting, we had a member of the community come that wants to do a wine tasting room and had a lively discussion of different aspects of developing culture, a lot of which we are currently doing and that we can, think about doing more of. So we have coming up on Friday, is First Friday, where the studios are open along Ventura Avenue and along Main Street. So if you haven't been to open studios on First Friday, check it out. There's a website, I think it's First Friday, Ventura First Friday or something like that, that has a listing of different venues. It's a wonderful time. So we focus on collecting ideas from the community so that we can work with you to see what we can do to implement those ideas. We are enablers of our community to put together projects that makes the community a better place to live. So I will be on vacation. I'm going to celebrate Halloween with my daughter in Chicago area. So no Revite committee this month. So we'll return on in December then. Thank you much.
Can I give
Thank
a
you,
shout out to one of our resident-led projects? Sorry, I'm in the back for the people on the video or in the YouTube. Shout out to, name of the company, please.
Expert window cleaning.
Thank you. Of their own volition, they have reached out to business owners like Bell Arts, and they do free window cleaning and light pressure washing along the avenue for nonprofits. There we go. Along the Avenue corridor. So it's really nice that we have businesses that are part of the Revite committee that are taking the time out of their day to do these things along our corridor. So shout out to them. And then we also have some neighbors who are going to start probably doing community gardens. So we look forward to seeing the greening of the avenue in a grassroots fashion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Helen. Yep, always good to shout out our businesses. Revite happening all over community gardens. That momentum's going to be good. I know we had a couple months ago when we were doing one of the adopt a blocks at the Avenue Library. They also did, yeah, Yvonne, if you wanted to speak on that.
Hi, my name's Yvonne Quintero Rea. I'm a backup interpreter, and I'm here on the council. We got the chance through Revite with Ron, our chair, to help some of our businesses and nonprofits that really operate on tight profit margins and rarely ever get a chance to have their windows cleaned, you know, professionally, or let alone the gum power washed. You know, and some of our on-house friends leave things on the sidewalks, and sometimes the only thing that'll take care of that is a good old power washing. So the library on the avenue got that. We just started on Bell Arts this morning, getting ready for Dia de los Muertos. You can't miss that. Best show on the avenue for sure. And expert window cleaning grew up here on the avenue. It's his way of giving back. Things are good for him. God has been good for him, and it's just his way of giving back. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. All right. We have a lot of announcements, but I'm going to sort of intermix those, moving around some stuff. We're going to have Public Works come up first. Charlie, I believe right here. Yes, we'll go ahead and jump right into our presentations.
Okay, we do have some slides. Do we have the slideshow ready to go? Okay. Yeah, if you want to. I know Councilmember Campos was trying to be very generous and get me out the door. So I'll bet. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Stacy Zarzua. I'm the Parks and Recreation Director. It's a pleasure being here this evening. I want to take the opportunity. I have two team members with us. I have Heather Melton. She's our new Parks Division Manager. She's been with us for 4 weeks, so welcome, Heather. We also have Janine Cobian. She's our Recreation Supervisor, and she oversees the Avenue Adult Center along with Community Gardens and our Volunteer Ventura program. So thank you for joining us. And I also want to take this opportunity, I believe, Barbara Brown is here with us. She's with the Ventura Tree Alliance. The city has a wonderful partnership with Ventura Tree Alliance, and I wanted to make sure I announce on October 29th at 10 a.m. over at Camino Real Park, we'll be planting 18 to 20 trees in partnership with Ventura Tree Alliance, which seems to have become an annual occurrence to celebrate October. So if you're around, we would love volunteers to join us out at Camino Real Park for a tree planting. And then going into some updates more focused on our west side, as Alejandra has shared, we kicked off construction at the West Park Skate Park expansion project. We do anticipate completion to be done spring 2025. The skate park will be 6 times larger. To view final design and renderings, here is the website. I wanted to give a shout out to the community. Our West group was super engaged, very active. We had over 11 community outreach meetings, I think several here, several on site. And due to the participation of the community, and we're talking all ages from little itty bitties all the way up to our older skaters, it's really made our design that we worked with Grindline on be phenomenal. And I'm really excited to see this project finally come to fruition. So kudos to community engagement and really ensuring that, you know, it's a skate park for all levels of skaters. And then I wanted to touch on West Park Community Center. We weren't able to have Mario Robinson is the supervisor for that site, and then Ray Jean is the coordinator. So if you have any kids in after-school programs along the avenue or with USD, you're probably familiar with Ray Jean, Mario, and Emily Acosta. Ray Jean is specifically over at the West Park Community Center, where we run an after-school program in partnership with Ventura Unified School District. We also have classes, parent and child classes, music, art, crafts, a STEAM program, youth fitness. We offer adult programs like volleyball, pickleball, basketball, family fun night, monthly food share distribution through the site, and a lot of activities going on over there. So unfortunately, they weren't able to join us this evening, but they're an amazing resource. We are working with the Housing Authority to ensure that we're getting some synergy between the two sites, and we're serving residents at the Housing Authority, both at the Ventura Avenue Adult Center and at West Park, to maximize and provide the best possible service to all of our residents. And then speaking of the Ventura Avenue Adult Center, as I mentioned, we have Janine Cobian is the supervisor at that site. And then we have Cheryl Buckland is the coordinator who works directly out of that site, along with Tom Musgrove. Tom is coaching this evening, or he would be here. But our adult senior programs, we have fitness, yoga, dance, art classes. We have free drop-in activities, including Tai Chi, gardening, book club, game corner, Wii bowling, ping pong, and then free monthly cinema time. Our senior nutrition program at Westside Cafe, we provide lunches for 30 to 50 seniors daily, Monday through Friday, 11:30 to 12:30. We have holiday luncheons that celebrate, you know, everything from Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day. We do a monthly birthday lunch for our seniors. And then we also provide home delivered meals, ages 60 plus. We drive to homebound seniors, 130 seniors weekly. And really exciting, and kudos to Janine and her team. We're able to pull 100 additional seniors off the wait list. And then we could not do that without our volunteers. Our volunteers drive these meals to each of our homebound seniors. So that's a wonderful program. We also have Ventura Council for Seniors. It's a free for ages 50 and over. It's a seminar speaker series, and it's the third Tuesday of the month from 4 to 5 p.m. And again, Janine Cobian is the supervisor, and then we have Tom and Cheryl that work directly out of the Avenue Adult Center. So please stop by and introduce yourself. And there's a lot of great things happening at both of those sites. Speaking of Tom Musgrove, we also have our community gardens. We have the Kellogg Community Garden. There's 47 plots there. It is a $60 annual fee. West Park Community Garden, there's 22 plots there. There is a $25 annual fee, which includes water, help with maintenance, and a lot of collaboration with your fellow plot renters. And then the contact for that is Tom Musgrove. Again, he was coaching soccer tonight, but I told him I would do a shameless plug. So Kellogg Community Garden is doing part 2 of their cleanup event on November 11th from 9 to 11. And that is helping with re-beautifying Kellogg Community Garden and like remulching, weeding. There will be raffle prizes. And again, it's November 11th from 9 to 11 a.m. And I think, do I have one more slide? And then I wanted to also mention it's VYBA, Ventura Youth Basketball season, along with VYBA, aquatics, summer camps, sport leagues, theater, art, dance, sailing, and much more. We do have a very active scholarship program. I have the web link for the resources for scholarships. But again, reach out, Rajon, Mario, myself, Janine, and we'll get that information out to anyone interested. So with that, I'm going to pass it along to our Public Works Director, Charlie.
Do you have any questions? No? All right.
Mi pregunta es, ¿quién limpia los árboles que están en las banquetas de la avenida? Porque están todos colgando y no podemos pasar por ahí porque las ramas están muy largas.
My question is, who's responsible of cleaning up the trees that are planted on the avenue sidewalk? Because they're overgrown and people can't walk through them.
So that's with our Parks Division, our urban forestry. Our urban forestry is on typically a 7-year trimming cycle, but let me connect with you and I can get a specific location. And then our urban forestry, if it's on public property, I'll get a specific location. That being said, we also have Ventura Connects, and that was on Alejandra's slide. You can also submit any requests for tree trimmings, and you can actually take the photo, drop it into the Ventura Connects, along with pinning the coordinates so we know exactly what tree. Our urban forestry maintains approximately 40,000 trees throughout the city. So it is very helpful to have an exact location with a pin or photo. But I'll circle around and get the specific location.
La avenida siempre está bastante basura, bolsas de basura todos los días. Entonces necesitamos también que vengan y limpien lo que es la avenida, porque siempre está, todas las mañanas hay bastante basura, vidrios quebrados. Entonces necesitamos saber quién se encarga de limpiar esta área.
So my other question is also, who's responsible of cleaning up the avenue? Because every morning there's a bunch of trash, broken glass, and trash bags just sitting outside of the sidewalk.
We have an urban beautification team that does their routes, specifically trash bags. If it's like business owners, they should be responsible for doing their trash, and or there's pickups that EJ Harrison does for all residents. However, we have urban beautification that is on a route. We also have a street sweeping route as well. Again, Ventura Connects can be submitted if there's a specific area that is an issue or concern. And then I'll also circle back with you if there's a specific area of concern. That's not a real picture. That's a graphic. And I agree that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. And I will circle back and touch base on the specific tree and areas. Okay. Sorry, Charlie. I thought I was going to be quick.
is what she's talking about is right there by the car wash. When I left this morning to go to the senior center, because I do Meals on Wheels in the morning, there was two great big huge trash bags sitting right there on the sidewalk. And there usually is just pretty much all the time. And I believe that's what she was talking about, because she's my neighbor. So we live right close by there.
I'll circle back and get the location. I don't know the specific car wash.
Car wash,
Business
the only one
owners,
on the avenue.
homeowners, you know, we do routes. However, if it's on private property, that is up to the private resident. If there is illegal dumping, you can Ventura Connect and we will definitely swing by and pick it up.
How you doing? So I'm with Axe Avenue Coalition to Serve nonprofit, and we do a lot of community work for the avenue, helping the community out. We also do the Kellogg Winter Wonderland at the park for all the children here on the avenue. My question is, West Park, we're talking about West Park right now. And these children here have nowhere to go here on the avenue. You know, they shut down Boys and Girls Club. You know, I was raised with West Park where it was always open, where the kids had a place to go play basketball, get their, you know, fill their NBA dreams. You know, I know you're doing the skate park. That's awesome, but not all kids skate. You know, you got kids that want to play basketball. They want to do things, you know, and a lot of communities have been asking me to try to come out here and get where we can get West Park back open for the community. It is a community center. You know, it says West Park community. People pay taxes, you know, and it's like not even our kids can really go in there and play unless they're in a program.
So Monday through Friday, 2:30 to 5:30, there are 60 kids that are in their extended learning opportunity program. And those are our kids from this area. We also have sport leagues. We have different adult and youth programs. You are correct. It's not a drop-in because to be in the extended learning program in partnership with Ventura Unified and the city, that is a signed up program. It's free, but in order for safety and other purposes, it's not a drop-in like the Boys and Girls Club. It is kids that are committed to attending, and we're assisting with homework work, doing extracurricular activities. So 2:30 to 5:30, that is a structured program, but the other hours has, you know, basketball, volleyball, we do summer camps, we do art, music lessons. So it is not a drop-in, but there are 60 kids there Monday through Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 in partnership with Ventura Unified School District.
Hello. Just to piggyback off what Mr. Robles said, I have a few questions concerning the cleanup. My name's Chaplain Paul Castaneda. We have a business here on Ventura Avenue. I run a drug and alcohol facility with men, and we used to clean the avenue daily. We would go up and down, cleaning the feces, painting the red curbs up and down the avenue, because I would teach the men to get back to my community, but majority of them are from other communities. And, you know, we were given promises that the city would come back and help our facility. We used to clean the bike trail. They got a $5 million grant to plant trees, and they came to us and they asked for us to say a good word about what's going on around here. And we did, because we were promised some things out of that $5 million, and we got zero. But it's okay, because it's my community. and I want to help out and keep it clean but it gets a little tiring. Resources. So we stopped. Everything that they're talking about up and down, we would clean from Stanley to Main Street. But then you'll see these little vehicles coming on Main Street with blowers and cleaning all this. And so I talked to them and they're, oh, no, it's the businesses of Main Street. They put in for this, so they're able to do this. So I went to the businesses on the avenue and said, hey, look we could keep our area clean if every business pitched in $10, $15 a month, and we could buy these little cars and go around and clean up and down, and we'll do it. We have the labor, we have the manpower to do it. So, promises, on this west, I'm 56 years old. I grew up here. And, I wasn't always a good guy. But my life changed when I was 25 years old. And so I've been trying to get back to this community for about 31 years. But it just doesn't seem to work. Everybody wants to take. But, even with West Park, I grew up in West Park. I grew up at the Boys and Girls Club, like Steven said. We're not talking about kids here. Let's be real. We're talking about the gang members, the drug addicts that everyone seems to be scared of, but nobody wants to do anything for them. What we're talking about is if you guys could build a skate park, then you guys could build us a building at West Park. We want to open up an auto parts to teach these individuals how to work on vehicles. We want to give back to the community. The elderly, if they can't change their tires, oil changes, they have a place to come that will do it for free. So today we have individuals that are mature. They've got degrees, have made it up out of the avenue, but now they want to give back. But yet you can't even go to West Park, who was built by some of our family members as a community center. And a community center is from 0 to 100 years old. It doesn't matter. It's a community center. If you don't want it to be a community center, then take the word out and just put West Park Center. But if it's a community center, you guys tore down our handball courts. Why? But you want pickleball. You want tennis courts. Why did you guys tear down our handball courts? Because you guys don't want us to be fit and active and strong? But you used the word crime. Come on. Let's keep it real here. Look at these graphics. Everything's happening by Vons. Keep it real. Don't put it on the community. We're down there every day. I'm here every day, 7 days a week. Man, I've worked with Ventura Police Department. I've turned guys in. It's not my life no more. If you're doing wrong, you're doing wrong. You talk about cleaning the streets. You guys allow pop-up booths making food at the corner over here. Go by and look at that sidewalk. I contacted the health department. I went through the steps. And you know what they said? Well, tell the community to stop buying from them. Stop buying from them and they'll leave. But if you guys want to keep buying from these pop-ups that's on by Burger King, over here by Dianza, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Business owners like myself, I pay taxes here. I got to go through the health department and pay everything to be up to code. But the community, I guess if you guys are from here, which I don't know who is, this stuff got to stop. Eastenders from the other side of the mountain got to stop coming and using our community center. That's West Side Community Center. That's our community, not yours, it's ours. And you got to do what we say because we're the taxpayer. But you guys want to have control over it because of gangs? Come on. There hasn't been a gang member here in God knows how long, probably from us.
All right. I don't want to.
Well, no, you gave everybody else time. You're going to give us time. So you know what? Because this stuff got us.
Hold on. I definitely don't want to cut. Let's. Okay. All right. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. Just.
All right,
going
and
to-
so I'm going to go ahead and pass on to Public Works. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy, for presenting. Charlie, welcome.
All right. Right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Charlie Ebling. I'm the Public Works Director for the City of Ventura. As you might have heard, I'm relatively new, so I'm still learning a lot about the city, and I really appreciate the last gentleman's comments and things that we can really learn from that with how we deliver projects and we look at how we maintain the streets, that kind of thing. I do get to talk about 3 projects that were completed recently in this area. And I think that's a good example of how, from a public works standpoint, we are looking at bringing projects to the city, to this area of the city, what we can do to do improvements. So I'm going to go through those 3 projects and hopefully that kind of gives everybody an idea of what public works can do. So next slide, there we go. So I'm going to talk about the Ventura Rail project that was we just had the ribbon cutting recently. There was a housing authority project. This was part of the city's active transportation plan, and we received a grant or the housing authority received a grant, and we were able to use that grant to do some active transportation improvements and ADA improvements to the avenue. And then lastly, we'll talk a little bit about the Ventura Avenue Enhanced Lighting Project. That was completed in 2022, but we're going to mention it real quick just to kind of talk about things that the Public Works Department can do. So the Ventura River Trail, as was mentioned, was done with a $5 million grant. It included new paving, solar lighting, landscaping, accessibility points, public art, and more. We paved about 1.8 miles of the bike path, and then it had some other amenities also, such as lighting that were done with solar panels, new wayfinding signs, that kind of thing. So the project turned out really great. And if we go to the next slide, we can kind of see where in the lower left what the bike path looked like before the project. In the upper left was what the city proposed to improve. And then on the right is the final product with the bike path having been repaved and some other amenities you can see in that photo. Let's go ahead to the next slide, please. Also with this project, it had some amazing amenities such as artwork. And I had a chance to stand next to this artwork and look at it the other day, and it is truly amazing. So this is a good example of how we can have capital projects and incorporate some public art. As I mentioned, the Housing Authority was able to obtain a grant for another project. This was to do improvements on the avenue, such as new flashing beacons at Warner and Olive, and at the Stanley and Ventura River Trail crossing. These flashing beacons were for pedestrian crossings. Also, we upgraded some bus stop amenities, things like that. And if we go to the next slide, we can kind of see how we did the construction work. So this was in the middle of the project, improving some of the curb, gutter, and sidewalk and driveways. And then next slide. And then in this slide, especially what I want to point out is in the middle photo is the accessibility or ADA curb ramps that really helped with how accessible routes can happen throughout the avenue and on those sidewalks. Next slide, please. On a kind of changing topics after those three projects, I also wanted to talk a little bit about our streets and sidewalks group. These are the guys that do all of our repairs, such as our potholes, that kind of thing. You know, just as an interesting statistic, the city has about 700 lane miles of roadway. So for a city our size, it's actually quite a bit of roads. Fortunately, in this last budget, in this budget season, we were able to increase the budget for roadway and sidewalk improvements and repairs by 30%. So we anticipate to spend about 13 million this year on pavement, which is and the sidewalks. So that's great. And that number of 2,000 potholes is a little outdated. We're going over 2,500 potholes repaired, and that's with 7 guys that do that sort of only part-time. They have other jobs like paving alleys and paving parking lots. So Daniel Lopez is our supervisor. He's been an employee of the city forever. He's great to work with, and they really do accomplish a lot. But I do also want to say that, you know, we know that the roads are one of the things that the citizens have a lot of concerns about, especially the potholes. And so one of the things we are doing is increasing budgets, but on the other end of that spectrum is making sure that you use Ventura Connects and let us know where those potholes are. And then we will do everything we can to address them as fast as we can. Okay. And then the last project, I know this was completed just a little bit ago, but this is another good example of things we can do in certain neighborhoods. That kind of, we skipped one. Can we go back? Oh, I'm actually behind. We'll stay there. Another program, sort of another change of gears, is just that we wanted to talk about our environmental sustainability program in Public Works. This is where it's essentially part of our solid waste program. We are one of the first cities in the nation that we want to boast about, that we are composting and have a compost and mulch program. And the city's offering up that to the citizens, and we've distributed over 220,000 pounds of mulch. So that's pretty fantastic and a great part of how we do our sustainability program in action, and that's part of our solid waste program. And then lastly, just wanted to also mention, I know this was mentioned before, but we are getting ready to start the Surfers Point Phase 2 construction project. That has been awarded to a contractor, and we're just in sort of that beginning phase where we do a lot of preliminary work with the contractor to make sure that they understand where we are with the contract and things that have to get done, and the actual construction work will start shortly. But it's going to be great. It has new multi-use paths and parking areas. There's going to be an erosion protection and new sand dunes with a lot of natural landscaping that is, you know, I can't say enough about this project. This actually has national recognition on how we're doing this with the beach and doing this erosion control. A long time ago, 10 or 15 years ago, I heard about Phase 1 when I was back east working with FEMA, and this was brought up sort of randomly, and it was amazing to me that being from the West Coast, I was on the East Coast, and yet at this FEMA meeting, they brought up Surfers Point Phase 1 as sort of a very iconic project that they'd like to see happen throughout the country. It also includes some public art, new lighting, lots of other amenities. And this was funded by a $16 million grant from the state California Coastal Conservancy. So again, that's kind of the things we can do with Public Works, with projects, obtaining grants, and that's it. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about Public Works. Yes, sir.
With due respect to everyone, including our distinguished Arab visitors. Our city manager. This is an academic concern. How is it that there is no disabled access in the city of ours? To go to the city hall, the curb is impossible to trek and is destroying our wheelchairs. We've written to William. We haven't heard the question. You are in charge of sidewalks and streets, and we don't see any policy of changes. And we also see the WCC, it's a dead political body, has no members. And it's been co-opted by ERA, SoCal. They've been given donations. It's the same old, same old. Now the state has passed new laws that need to be addressed. But in the matter of streets and sidewalks, access to disabled people, it is not happening. It's been decades and we're not getting answers. So we need policy changes. We need policy changes. And when are these policy changes if you guys, the heads of departments, are not bringing these policy changes? And when are we gonna have it from the city manager and from the head directors of each department?
Well, I appreciate your comment, and I did have a chance to tour around City Hall recently and got some input on areas such as the California street pavers that lead up to City Hall. From that input, our maintenance crew went out and looked at some of those and have already replaced them. And then I've looked at how we sort of some of those pathways towards City Hall and into the Main Street area. So we are making some changes. I know it's kind of feels pretty slow sometimes, but these are kind of things I can bring to the table as a new director, that we are looking at those things. I have been out there touring around and looking at it and already having my staff address some of the issues that you've mentioned. And then overall, when we do pavement projects, for example, whenever we pave a new road, we also look at all the ADA pathways, path of travels around that pavement project, and then start to work on those. We're replacing a lot of curb ramps that were outdated or didn't exist in those areas. So we are trying to look at that, and it does become part of, for example, our pavement projects. So it is a policy to keep moving. I know it can, and keep doing those improvements. I know it can feel kind of very slow. And of course, we are going to continue to look at find more funding for things like that and speed up that process. Yes, sir.
On the retreat on the beach by the fairground there, will the sand be supplemented? Trucked in sand, to replenish the sand?
Yeah, there'll be sand and there'll be other parts of that will go underneath the sand, and then the sand will be made up into dunes. And the idea is that it's, although they use the word kind of a managed retreat, we're trying to actually slow down that retreat and not let it happen by how we're building that up. And so you can see the first phase, that kind of to the west of it, and that sort of how Surface Point goes out and then comes kind of back in. Well, that's the phase one. So we're going to try to mimic that right next door to that. And do exactly what you're saying. So bring in some materials and then try to make it so that that area lasts, hopefully permanently.
Very good. Then when we get around to blowing Matilhot Dam, then that will supplement the beach then.
Exactly.
Understand.
That likely will bring a lot more materials down the river, and hopefully then that will help even further sustain Surface Point and hopefully even then to the east as the sand transport goes towards, for example, towards the pier.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
great. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is a question regarding that surf park, and I'm sure they will do a great job. But I'm wondering about, you said it's a multi-purpose path. So are they going to separate the walking people and the children from e-bikes and bikes and all the rental equipment? Will there be two different paths? Because it's extremely dangerous to put those two together. All the pets, the animals, the children are in danger to the e-bikes. I have an e-bike. Child crashed me and I had an enormous injury from that and changed my life. So will there be separated paths?
Unfortunately, there won't be. In fact, what it will be is what we call a multi-use trail. So it'll be a multi-use pathway. We'll have the parking lot, the multi-use pathway, and then the beach erosion and beach improvements. And one of the reasons why we didn't just have space for all of that. So the design is set. It's actually gone to construction, so we can't really change it at this point. And as I said, unfortunately, it is a multi-use trail, and that is what we could fit in. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Let's give our Public Works Department a round of applause. All right, last but not least from our city department presentations, I'm gonna bring up Maruja from Community Development, but while she's coming up, I know there was one person, I'm trying to respect everyone's time. I know you said you had, did you want to do it after? Okay. Okay, we'll just, all right.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I will open up with a joke as well. One of my daughter's favorites. Why did the boy throw a stick of butter out of the window? He wanted to see a butterfly. But I will not quit my day job. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyway, so my name is Maruja. It's wonderful to be back here. Thank you to Helen, P, and Marco for welcoming me. I'm with the Community Development Department at the city. I have been here before at my former job with Supervisor Levere. We're great to be back at the city where I had worked 4 years ago, and also to be back on the west side where I had the wonderful, blessed opportunity to live for a little while off of Warner. So wonderful to be back here at this wonderful place and with you all, and to talk about an updated general plan land use map survey. And some of you are probably familiar with our general plan effort. It's been underway for 4 years now, and we're going in for the final round, if you will, and hope to have an adopted plan here by third quarter of next year. So last fall, there was a general plan land use map, and we got some feedback from the community that we just didn't get it right. So we did a survey in spring of this year and garnered almost 200 comments back from the community. So this latest map is a result of those comments. And here we are casting the net out again to get additional feedback to make sure that we get it just right. You are the subject matter experts when it comes to your community and your backyard. And we really need to hear from you. We have to get this right. This is our document. And I'm so happy to be able to help take us over the finish line with this. So Helen, if you would, to the next slide, please. So again, this recaps feedback we got in April and May of this year. 200 comments, and we went line by line with those comments, and you'll see that on our general plan website, which is planventura.com. Mainly these comments were about concerns to the general plan as it complements existing zoning regulations. For purposes of context, the general plan, if you think about it, it's like the underlayer when it comes to development regulations, very general, hence the term with a general plan land use designation. And over that is a zoning designation that kind of gets to a more granular detail with what can occur on that specific property or area. So there were requests to relook at that consistency. There was also requests to preserve existing industrial zone sites, as well as look at redesignations for specific parcels. So that led to a rethinking and a revisioning of the general plan map, which is why we're here today. Oh, also this QR code will take you to the land use survey. We have that on pretty much every slide of my presentation. Next slide. So in response to the community concerns, we have increased our land use designations from 31 to 34. 16 designations remain unchanged. There should be another column there that will reflect the other 8. I'm not sure if that's an action slide. Oh, well, I will send a PDF to Helen and she can distribute to the team that will have those other 16. Effectively, the new designations further divvied up our low and mid residential land use designation to further mirror that zoning designation and kind of spread out the density within that so that we got really specific into those density levels. Next slide. So I'm going to have you, Helen, just click through all of these real quick. Just did you do like 7 or 8 clicks? Oh no, go back. Oh, well, and there. So those arrows. When you go to the planventura.com app or website, there we go. You'll have our technical background memo. We'd like you to read this first. This describes how we got here, what we heard, and how we incorporated it, and how specific designations changed. The next arrow shows you our updated land use designations. This is actually the textual narrative that goes into what each of these designations talk about. The next arrow takes you to our updated land use designation map. Well, there you go. And that's a PDF downloadable high res that you can print out. I actually recommend saving that to your desktop, and I'll refer to that back on another slide. The next click will go to our reference maps. That's going to be the previous draft land use map from fall, as well as our 2005 general plan map. That's the last time we had our general plan. The next click will take you to an interactive online GIS map if you want to get really specific and zone in on some details. And 2 clicks, another one, story map. This is a really cool feature that I'm going to take you through. This is an illustrative narrative that you actually scroll through and the layers pop in and out to complement the narrative that it's describing on the left-hand side. And it's a really nice illustrative way to kind of walk you through how we got here, the base maps, in a tangible way that is a story, hence the name. Next one is our response to public comments from our land use feedback form. Again, that's that Excel spreadsheet that goes line by line in each of those 200 comments. And then within that, we actually heard from our GPAC back in September regarding this, and we provided an interlinking GIS parcel map. So when there is a specific parcel mentioned or called out in one of those comments, we'll refer back to it on the map. So it makes that connection really easy. And so when they were able to make that happen, we turned that around pretty quick, and that was really nice. And the last click on here, and the most important why I'm here today, is our online feedback forum. And that click will take you to the new land use map survey that I will take you to on the next page or slide. So this is an example of what the land use map survey will look like. There are 8 different areas that we have categorized within the context of the survey. You can comment on any of them, all of them, one of them, but we do ask that you carry through the entire survey because there are some questions at the end. Very easy to use. You literally drop a pin like you would see in a Google or Apple map. You write your comments in the field and it carries it to that parcel. We have feedback open in the survey to October 21st. So we ask that you please share this link and QR code to have everybody take a survey. Next slide. And this is actually, should be a video. There it is. Helen, there should be a little arrow that pops up right here. If you hover over it, hovering. Oh, this is unfortunate. Oh. Are we ready? Oh well. So when you click on the story map, this is the first time I've taken this roadshow live, so it's been virtual since, or before here. So when you go to this story map feature, you just scroll down, or I guess you're scrolling up. I'm not really good with that kind of stuff, but it'll actually show the 2005 general plan and those layers will pop up. The land use designations that haven't changed and those layers will pop up. And it goes so on and so on and so on. It has our 1999 comprehensive map. It has all different layers that you can play with that have the accompanying narrative to describe what you're looking at. It's a really cool feature, and I, encourage you to go on and check it out. Next slide. So our next steps, as noted, we have the survey open till October 21st. Our next GPAC meeting, our General Plan Advisory Committee meeting, is November 18th. We're going to be looking at the survey results. Next meeting will be in December on the 2nd. And then we'll have another one in February because we're anticipating releasing the entire draft general plan by the end of the year. And that will be accompanied by the release of the draft environmental document that will each have their own public comment period. And we're talking at least 45 to potentially 60 days for each of these documents. The general plan is like a chapter book. It has what's called elements, and there are 12 of them. Housing element, land use element, transportation element, arts and culture, variety of topics that the GPAC has been working on over the past 4 years. So again, there'll be plenty of opportunities for community engagement. And then we will also have forums, study sessions with Planning Commission and the City Council, starting probably in spring of next year and carrying through the summer with hopeful adoption, and to summer, if not beginning of the Q3. So I think that is my last slide on this topic. I did want to advertise the next slide that Alejandra, oh God, I hate looking at yourself on the. Ah. Oh no. Okay. Is it having a case of the Mondays? Even though it's Wednesday? There we go. Okay. So Alejandra noted that we have a couple of 4 different workshops, 2 in person, 2 virtual for our tenant and property owner workshops. We're trying to educate on housing rights, hear back from our community on how to navigate forward with further educating any policy decisions that the council may want to consider. We have 2 in October, 2 in Spanish. The 2 in October are English, 1 in person, 1 virtual. That will have Spanish translation. The 2 in November will be Spanish with English translation. If I can go to the next slide, please. I have this in Spanish for our Spanish speakers. So you can email Leona Rollins at the bottom to register or have any questions. And I'm sure you're going to be seeing a lot of materials online from our communications division and our PIO about these dates coming up on your social media feeds and the like. So I think that might be my last slide. Yes, thank you. Plan Ventura at cityofventura.ca.gov. I monitored this email as well as a few others in our staff, and I will leave some cards in the back of the room. Feel free to call me, reach out if you want to look at a physical map and talk over the desk or a cup of coffee. I'm more than open and willing and able to do that. I want to make this as easy for everybody to participate in because your participation is crucial. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we do have a question. Oh, okay, that's right.
Hi. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you. Hey, I caught at the end, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
I heard towards the end that there will be a lot of outreach and dissemination to the public, probably from the PIO.
Yes.
I got kind of excited. Do we have somebody new? Because I'm really missing the last one.
No, still TBD who that PIO will be, but our public information officer department and communications team will be launching a full community effort, as will our department community outreach effort. We'll take it to the community councils. You'll probably see a lot of pop-ups in the neighborhood. We're taking this presentation to all of our community councils. My last is next week. So we're really trying to hit it all in this comment period within the survey to make sure we're reaching out as much as we can. I'll be at the Love Ventura event on Saturday as well with information about the survey as well as our tenant and property owner workshops. And we're just trying to get the word out in every way, shape, or form during this time period.
I'm just going to say this to everyone here from the city listening. It's not a bad thing at all.
Oh,
We
God,
love you
okay.
guys. I think you're amazing. Everyone does the best that we can do. And we work together the best that we can. I think here on the Avenue, having grown up on the Avenue, having come back to the Avenue, and I keep seeing this thread. We just saw it tonight. People aren't being heard or not feeling heard. They may be heard, but they're not feeling it. And I think one thing that could go really far in our community is if that PIO were required to speak English and Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing none, I will close the public meeting.
All right, how about one last round of applause for our city staff presentations tonight? Believe it or not, we're actually on schedule. We don't actually end at 8. We end at 8:30, but we try to get out of here by 8. We're just going to rattle off through some announcements. I'm going to invite the Lions Club up if they still want to announce what they got going on.
The Ventura Downtown Lions on Saturday, October 26th from 11 till 2 at the West Side Village, which is the corner of Olive and Warner, will host their first Health and Wellness Expo. It's going to be a free event to everyone. There will be raffles and gift cards all through the 3 hours. There is going to be free overdose prevention kits, free community resources, no cost health screenings, resource giveaways. The Lions, we will have our wellness or our vision van there. So there will be eye exams. Salvation Army will do food and clothing distribution. City Kids will be there. Head Start will be there. Boys and Girls Club, the Ventura Community College, the Westminster Free Clinic will come and they will draw blood and check for diabetes and check high blood pressure. And then there are several other vendors that will be there. So once again, it's open to everyone. It's Saturday, October 26th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the West Side Village. And I hope you'll pass the word because I think we have a lot to offer for a needy community. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. While Helen gets our next event up, I just want to thank Pete. He's been serving on the General Plan Advisory Committee, putting together that land use survey, our community input, and all that good stuff. So I just want to give Pete a shout out there. Yeah. He tries to be humble about it, but sometimes you just gotta give that thanks. So we have here Monarch Day. The Ventura Land Trust asked us to share this event happening on October 19th from 10 to 2 p.m. at downtown Mission Park, next to the farmers market. And basically, apologies, I did not read through this later. We're gonna have local community partners share and teach visitors about monarch butterflies. So, just a fun event hosted by the Ventura Land Trust. Next event. All right. I don't know. Someone reached out on this. I don't know if they were here tonight. No? Okay. So someone reached out asking us to share this fun and free community event for bike riding, which I know happens frequently through Bike Ventura. This is through the Channel Bike Ventura and the Channel Islands Bicycle Club. They have several dates that they do community bike rides. They do ask that you register in advance so they can get a head count. Otherwise, I guess they might cancel if there's not enough interest. But basically, they meet up over at the Museum of Ventura County at 8:30. They're roughly 15 to 25 miles at a speed of 10 to 12 miles per hour. So, normal bike pedaling, I guess. But if you're on an e-bike, like I might want to try to go faster, but, just a fun cruise event, nice community bike ride. So feel free to join that. I definitely want to try doing that one of these days. What else do I got? First Friday is this Friday here at Bell Arts. All the arts vendors happening here and around town, I know, sell their art and just showcase their art in general. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Bell Arts here for doing that every month. Does anyone else have any other announcements that they want to share? Sure. Oh yeah, we have open comment too. Yep.
Okay, great. So just because I didn't say it earlier, I have been made aware that the pickup game crews around Ventura feel like there is not enough yard space to have pickup games. So they knew I was civically engaged and wanted me to carry the message to the city council meetings because 1, they work, 2, they don't want to come, but they want someone to say it. So I'm here on their behalf. So I'm going to tell them to watch this video. I did it. Park staff is still here. And we will repeat the message during a council meeting as well. Thank you. Like, not as part of a program, just kind of like, a lot of people have like WhatsApp for, let's say, soccer. So they'll just text and then people will be like, okay, sign up by 4 p.m. and then we'll play tonight. So they're saying like with the clubs, it's hard to have spontaneous opportunity for outdoor recreation because they have their allotted times and they kick everyone out of the field. And it's a bunch of folks that play from all over Ventura and that they approach me, who knows? But thank you.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing that. And I know a lot of our community members have already left, but hopefully they are able to see, spread the word, and hopefully other people are able to watch this video. There was a lot of passion tonight. I could definitely feel that. I think city staff was able to feel that. We had our city manager here hearing it. So definitely, change can happen straight from the top. Our council member is going to represent us on that regard, but definitely the work is not over. It doesn't end here tonight. The only other announcement that I'll have that I didn't announce earlier, you'll see on our agenda, our next meeting is TBD. Typically, it's the first Wednesday of the month. It still could be that, might be getting a bit close. Our annual meeting and election is normally the 15th of November, according to our bylaws, but the board can change that, or if it's on a holiday. But aside from that, I will nominate a nominating committee at least 30 days before the date of any election. I'm just reading off the bylaws here. And then whoever is an eligible member to vote, based on our secretary records, at least 20 days before the date of the election, we'll go ahead and announce that slate. You can still take nominations from the floor. And basically, if whoever wants to join the nominating committee, whoever wants to join and be up for election, we tend to get less than whatever our max is. If that's the case, then whoever's nominated will automatically be on the board. Otherwise, we'll do a vote, go through all that. But please sign in if you're interested in serving on our board or being on the nominating committee. And yep, it's election time again, not just nationally, but here as local as possible on the community council. If there are no other comments, questions, or concerns, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you everyone for being here tonight.